There's something that's been on my mind lately, and maybe it's because I spent a lifetime around construction sites, demolition projects, tools, equipment, noise, dust, sparks, and men and women trying to make a living with their hands. But the more years I spend watching people, the more convinced I become of this one simple truth. Human beings were meant to build things. Now, not everybody builds the same thing. Some build homes, some build bridges, some build businesses, some build families, some build communities, some build ideas, and some build futures. But deep down inside us, there is something that longs to create. And I think a lot of people today are suffering because they've forgotten that. We live in a world filled with consumption. Scroll, watch, click, react, repeat. But very little encouragement is given toward creating something meaningful. And I'm telling you now, there is something different about a person who builds. A builder sees possibilities where others see inconvenience. A builder looks in an empty field and sees a structure. A mechanic hears an engine knocking and begins diagnosing the solutions. A welder looks at raw steel and imagines shape and strength. A carpenter sees order hidden inside of rough lumber. And yes, even a demolition man understands that sometimes things must be torn apart so something better can rise in its place. That's creation too. Sometimes building starts with removal. Now hear me clearly. I'm not talking about construction. I'm talking about life. Some people are building discipline. Some people are building character. Some are building stability after years of chaos. Some are trying to rebuild themselves after failure, addiction, loss, heartbreak, or disappointment. And that kind of building may be the hardest kind there is, because building anything worthwhile takes time. It takes vision. It takes patience. It takes frustration. It takes repetition. And most importantly, it takes belief before results become visible. Every builder understands this. Nobody pours a foundation and expects a skyscraper tomorrow morning. But somewhere along the line, people begin expecting life to work that way. Fast success, fast growth, fast mastery, fast purpose. But the old truth still remains. Brick by brick, board by board, day by day. That's how meaningful things are built. You know, one of the saddest things in the world is watching a capable person convince themselves they have nothing to offer. I don't believe that. I believe every person carries within them ideas, abilities, gifts, experiences, and perspectives that were meant to become useful. Maybe not famous, maybe not wealthy, but meaningful. And society desperately needs builders right now. Not just people who criticize, not just people who complain, builders, problem solvers, innovators, craftsmen, thinkers willing to act, people willing to take responsibility for creating something better than what they inherited. That's how civilization moves forward. Not through endless talk, but through people willing to put their hands, minds, and hearts to work. And maybe that's why this series matters to me, because I believe there are still millions of good people out there who wake up every morning wanting to do meaningful work. Maybe they're tired. Maybe they're overlooked. Maybe nobody applauds what they do, but they keep showing up. They keep building. That deserves respect, real respect. So if you're listening to this today and wondering whether your work matters, whether your effort matters, whether your ideas matter, let me remind you of something. The world you live in was built by ordinary people who decided to create instead of quit. And whatever your trade may be, whatever your talent may be, you were meant to build something too. Maybe a structure, maybe a business, maybe a family legacy, maybe a better version of yourself. But something inside you was designed for creation. Don't let the modern world convince you otherwise. Build carefully, build honestly, build with pride, build with purpose, and above all, build from within. All right, boys and girls, that's my thoughts on the subject. I appreciate you stopping by, and I appreciate you watching. Make sure that you give me the thumbs up down below to encourage me to make more videos of this type. Also, subscribe to the channel where you'll find additional videos of this nature, and you'll be notified of new releases. Make sure you share this video with like-minded people and comment on the content of this video. And until we see each other again, as always, have a grateful day, and we'll see you next time.